What if your breath was not a simple function of the body, but the very instrument of creation itself? There is an ancient understanding, a wisdom carried in my tradition, that explains why you feel anchored in place, despite your efforts to move forward. It reveals why forcing your mind to change is like trying to command the tides. The moment you truly grasp what you are experiencing, you are no longer breathing to survive. You are breathing to create, and in that, the world is reborn. Now, consider the power of this forgotten truth. A person takes around 23,000 breaths each day, each one a quiet, unconscious act, taken while rushing through duties, planning the next step, lying in bed, reliving old words, sitting in traffic, steeped in frustration. Yet, they do not ask why their outer world is a mirror to their inner turmoil. They try to mend the reflection, instead of tending to the source that casts the image. They meet their challenges with an emotional storm, which only summons more of the same storm clouds. They do not see that their very breath is a field of energy, broadcasting their inner state to everyone within arm's reach. This is the very reason why wishing for change, why painting pictures of a different future in the mind, often feels hollow for so many. But there is a principle of existence that changes everything. When you understand that each breath creates an energetic field that either nourishes the life you seek or breaks it down, you can cease your war with circumstances. You can begin to shape your reality from the quiet center of your being. I wish to show you a path, a 4-step practice of sacred breathing that transforms you from one who is thrown by the waves of life into one who consciously becomes the calm sea. I will also share with you a way to find the quantum pause, a silence that makes this calm automatic in less than a heartbeat, so you become the still point that organizes your world, instead of being swept away by it. Every breath you take without awareness is a lost chance to reshape the very fabric of your world. Most of us let 23,000 of these chances slip by every single day. When you arrived in this world, you did not think yourself into being, you breathed. Your first act was not a thought, not a word, not even a cry. It was an inhale. Your soul found its way into this reality, not through the constructions of language or the sharpness of your mind, but through the simple, deep rhythm of breath. In that first moment, you knew a truth that has since been forgotten. The breath is the bridge between what you are and what you are becoming. But on the journey, we were taught to breathe like machines, not like the sacred beings we are. We began breathing from a place of survival, not from a place of soul. Take a moment, right now. I invite you to simply notice your breath. Where does it live in your body? If you are like most, it is a shallow, quick rhythm, high in the chest. This is what I call the breath of the machine. It keeps the body running, but it leaves the spirit hungry. The wise ones of old understood something our modern world has misplaced. From the Sanskrit word prana to the Hebrew roch, ancient cultures saw the breath as so much more than a biological process. They knew it was the sacred thread connecting the world we see to the world we feel, the body to the quantum source, the human to the divine. In these traditions, to breathe with intention was not merely a practice. It was a doorway. The Egyptian teachings held that each breath had the power to unlock different chambers of our inner temple. The yogis of India discovered that the breath could shift not just our inner weather, but the very landscape of reality around us. This was not a metaphor for them. They understood that when you breathe consciously, you are not just moving air. You are moving energy through the field of existence itself. Consider this. Every emotion you have ever felt, every choice you have ever made, every moment of clear seeing or dense fog was held by a specific pattern of breath. When anxiety visits, your breath becomes a hurried, shallow stream. When peace settles upon you, it naturally deepens, like a slow-moving river. Your breath does not just reflect your state, it creates it. The difference between the machine's breath and the sacred breath is awareness. The machine's breath happens to you. The sacred breath happens through you, with you as a conscious partner in the dance between your inner world and the quantum field that holds you. When you begin to breathe with intention, with presence, with reverence for this simple gift that connects you to life, a quiet magic awakens. You cease to be a passive vessel for whatever reality brings. You become an active shaper of the clay. This is where the breath becomes sacred, because every breath you take from that place is no longer just keeping you alive. It is keeping you aligned with the source. What I am about to share may shatter an old story you have lived in. You believe you are in command of your thoughts, but in truth, you are often their prisoner. Most of us walk through our lives believing we are our thoughts. We awaken, and instantly, the inner talking begins. What must I do? I am behind. Did they approve of what I said? I need to check my device. We assume this voice is who we are. But what if I told you it is not your true self? Right now, as you receive these words, I invite you to do something simple. Notice your breath once more. Do not try to change it. Simply watch it. Feel the cool air as it enters. Feel the filling of your lungs, and then the slow, warm release. As you do this, something remarkable happens. You become the observer of the breath, not just the one breathing. Now, while you are watching your breath, simply notice what your mind does. It may offer commentary. This is a waste of time, or am I doing this correctly? Or what comes next? Here is the beautiful revelation. If you can hear those thoughts, if you can observe them as they come and go, then you cannot be them. You are the one who is watching. This is the birth of the watcher, the part of you that exists in the silence behind the endless stream of mental noise. Imagine you are sitting on the bank of a great river. Your thoughts are the water flowing past. Sometimes the current is slow and gentle. Sometimes it is a raging torrent. But you, the true you, are on the riverbank, simply witnessing it all. You are not the river. You are the awareness that perceives the river. In my tradition, we use the metaphor of the sky and the clouds. Your thoughts are like clouds passing through the vast, open sky of your awareness. Some are dark and heavy worry, fear, self-doubt. Others are light and fleeting joy, excitement, hope. But notice this, the sky itself is never harmed by the clouds. It remains open, spacious, and unchanged, whether the weather is stormy or clear. This observer awareness is your true nature. It is the part of you that has been here since you were a child. It is the part that will remain until your final breath. It is the silent presence that has been the witness to your entire life's journey. The ego mind, that voice that never stops, wants you to believe it is in charge. It weaves complex stories about who you are, what you must achieve, how others see you. It lives in constant chatter about the past and worry about the future. But the watcher lives only in this moment, in the eternal now, where all true power is found. When you begin to identify more with the watcher and less with the river of thought, a deep shift occurs. You stop being reactive and become responsive. Instead of being swept away by every feeling or idea, you can watch them arise, acknowledge them, and then choose how to respond. Here, your true freedom begins. The breath becomes your anchor to this observer, awareness. Every time you consciously return your attention to your breathing, you are returning home to who you truly are. You are stepping out of the drama of your mind and into the peace of pure presence. This is not just a spiritual idea. It is a fundamental principle of existence. The way a mountain's presence changes the flow of the wind, the act of observation changes reality. When you become the conscious observer of your inner world, you gain the ability to influence and shape your outer world. Have you ever had a moment where time seemed to slow, to bend? Perhaps in a moment of crisis, or in the stillness of deep love. Hidden in the gap between your breaths is a small window, a fraction of a second, where you can literally reshape your reality. Yet, 99% of people never learn to enter it. Those moments you just recalled, when time stretched and became still, they were not accidents. They were glimpses into what is possible when you slip into the space between thoughts, between heartbeats, between breaths. In that suspended moment, you touched something eternal, something beyond the normal flow of time. You discovered the quantum pause, I invite you to take a breath now. This time, bring your attention not just to the inhale and the exhale, but to what happens in between. There is a moment, fleeting but deep, where everything ceases. Your lungs are full, yet the release has not yet begun. And again, at the bottom of your exhale, there is another pause before the next inhale rises. These are not empty spaces. They are sacred doorways. The ancient initiates of the Nile Valley understood this secret. In the mystery schools, seekers were taught to place their awareness into these gaps. They called it dwelling in the silence of Ra, the space where creation rests between its breaths. These were not just exercises. They were a training in how to enter the field of all possibility that exists in every moment of stillness. Those ancients knew what our sciences are now confirming. In the space between one state and another, anything can emerge. It is like the silence between the notes of a beautiful piece of music. Without that pause, there is no rhythm, no beauty, only noise. Your breath creates this same sacred rhythm in the music of your life. In this quantum pause, something remarkable happens. Your usual mental chatter falls away. The constant river of I should, I must, I need goes quiet, and in that silence, a pure intention can form. Not the desperate wanting of the ego, but the clear knowing of the soul. It is here that your deepest desires cease being wishes and become instructions to the field. Think of this pause as the womb of creation itself. Just as a seed begins its journey in the dark, silent earth, your dreams and intentions require this sacred darkness to take form. The old mystics called it the eye of the needle, that impossibly small opening through which infinite possibility must pass to become manifest reality. Most people rush past these doorways. They breathe quickly, think constantly, always moving, always striving for the next thing. But when you learn to rest in the pause, when you can be at peace in the space between what was and what will be, you discover that this is where all true power is found. It is not about forcing anything or holding your breath. It is about learning to be present with the natural rhythm of your own being. And in that presence, you touch the place where intention meets infinite possibility. In the quantum pause, you are not trying to control the field. You are communing with it. But accessing this sacred pause is only the beginning. There is something deeper waiting to be awakened. Your body has been sending you signals for years, signals you have learned to ignore. And those ignored messages are blocking your path. The deeper awakening I speak of is not found by reaching for higher thoughts. It is discovered by journeying downward, by descending from the realm of the mind into the sacred landscape of your body. Just as ancient people built great temples to honor the divine, you too must build an inner temple, not of stone and gold, but of breath and awareness. Think of the great sacred structures of the world, the pyramids, the cathedrals, places people have gone for ages to touch something larger than themselves. They were not built by chance. Every column had its purpose. Every chamber was designed to channel a certain energy. Your body is no different. It is already a temple, but most of us have never learned to truly inhabit it. The ancient traditions of Egypt understood this with profound depth. They saw the human body as a living temple with energy centers that corresponded to different chambers of consciousness. They knew the breath was the key that unlocked each room, revealing not just the divine spark within, but also the old stories, traumas, and patterns stored in the body's deep wisdom. As you begin to breathe more consciously into your body, you may notice certain territories. Some areas may feel tight, closed, or numb. Your shoulders may hold the weight of burdens you have carried for years. Your chest might feel armored, protecting a heart that learned to close after being wounded. Your stomach might hold the knots of worry about the future, or your throat might feel tight with all the words you did not allow yourself to speak. These are not just physical feelings, they are your biography written in tissue and bone. Your body has been keeping a faithful record of your life, storing the emotional echoes of every experience. That tightness in your chest may be the energy of grief you never fully allowed, The tension in your shoulders could be the weight of responsibilities that were never yours to carry. But here lies the beauty of conscious breath. It does not just reveal these frozen patterns, it helps them to melt. Each conscious breath is like a gentle hand, clearing all debris from your inner temple, opening blocked corridors, and restoring the natural flow of life energy that wants to move through you. Imagine descending slowly through the levels of this inner temple with each breath. As you breathe into your chest, you visit the chamber of the heart, the seat of love and connection. As your breath deepens into your belly, you enter the chamber of power and intuition, where your deepest knowing resides. With each breath, you are not just observing these spaces. You are purifying them, blessing them, and reclaiming them as your own. The Egyptians built their pyramids to align with the stars, creating structures that could channel cosmic energy into the earth. Through conscious breathing, you are doing the same with your body. You are aligning your inner architecture with the higher frequencies of peace, love, and creative power that are your birthright. This is not a journey of perfection. It is a journey of inhabitation. It is about learning to honor the profound intelligence that has been guiding you all along, and to gently clear the energetic dust that has gathered, preventing your fullest expression. And once your inner temple is tended to, something remarkable begins to happen to the world around you. A wisdom from my tradition tells us that your breath creates a field of energy that extends beyond your skin, meaning you are influencing everyone around you in this very moment. That remarkable thing that happens around you is not poetry. It is physics. Our inner state generates an energetic field that radiates from the heart and extends far beyond our body, and the quality of this field changes instantly with the quality of our breath. When your breath is born of chaos, shallowness, and stress, your field broadcasts that discord to everyone it touches. But when your breathing becomes coherent, deep, and intentional, your field becomes a source of harmony that others can physically feel. Think of this energy you carry as the surface of a still lake. When you breathe from anxiety or hurried thoughts, it is like thrashing in the water, sending ripples of disturbance to every shore. But when you breathe from that quiet center we have been cultivating, you become like the mountain, reflected perfectly on the lake's surface, still, grounded, and magnetically peaceful. Have you ever walked into a space and felt either instantly agitated or instantly calm, without a single word being spoken? Have you noticed how some people seem to carry a field of peace with them, while others seem to trail chaos? This is not your imagination. It is the breath field in action. We are in constant communication through the rhythm and quality of our breath, and others receive these silent broadcasts, whether they are aware of it or not. Children are particularly sensitive to these fields. Their intuition has not yet been quieted by the noise of the world, so they respond instantly to the energy we radiate. When a parent breathes with the energy of stress, a child will often become restless or needy without knowing why. But when that same parent takes just a few conscious breaths to find their center, the child often settles naturally, as if by magic. This field extends into every interaction. When you breathe consciously before a difficult conversation, you are not just preparing yourself, you are creating an energetic container of safety and clarity for all involved. When you enter your work centered in your breath, you subtly shift the entire atmosphere, inviting creativity and collaboration to flow more easily. The beauty of understanding this is that it shows you how deeply connected we all are. You are not an isolated island trying to fix your own life. You are part of a vast ocean of consciousness. And every conscious breath you take contributes to the great tide of peace on this earth. But this influence is not something you must manage or perform. It is a natural result of tending to your own inner temple. The field responds to authenticity, not to effort. When you breathe from a genuine place of presence, that genuineness radiates outward with no effort at all. This is why the ancient teachings speak of the enlightened one as a being who serves the world simply by being. They understood that consciousness itself is contagious, that peace is magnetic, and that one person breathing from their true center can change the weather in an entire room. You have journeyed far without ever leaving your seat, not across great lands, but through the inner landscapes of your own being. You traveled through rhythm, silence, and observation. The greatest masters in history understood one truth: you were never taught how to access infinite power through absolute stillness. And on this journey, you have discovered something our world tries to make us forget. The most powerful action you can take is often no action at all. We live in a culture that worships movement, that tells us more effort leads to more reward. A culture that keeps us perpetually busy, striving, pushing. But the quantum field, the very source of creation that responds to your awareness, operates by a completely different law. The field does not respond to how hard you push. It responds to how deeply you are aligned. It does not look at your list of goals. It feels your frequency, your coherence, your state of being. And the most coherent, most powerful state of all is stillness. Not the stillness of defeat, but the dynamic stillness of a mountain. Consider a mountain for a moment. It seems to do nothing, yet its power is immense. It does not fight the storm, it allows the storm to pass over it. It does not chase the sun, it simply receives its light. Rivers are guided by its presence. The seasons change upon its face, and yet it remains unshaken in its own center. This is the kind of stillness that can move worlds. When you learn to breathe into this mountain, like stillness within you, something extraordinary happens. Reality begins to organize itself around you, instead of pushing against you. Opportunities that you could not have forced begin to flow to you naturally. People who can aid your path appear at the right moment. Solutions to old problems arrive in the quiet, like a soft rain. This is not magic, it is physics. In a state of stillness, you are no longer broadcasting the chaotic signals of desperation, of trying to control, of struggle. Instead, you radiate the clear frequency of trust, receptivity, and deep alignment. The field of life responds to this clarity by arranging circumstances to match your state of being. Think of the eye of a great hurricane. All around it, winds of destruction swirl with incredible force. But at the very center, there is a perfect calm, a perfect stillness. From this still point, the entire storm is organized. You can cultivate this same stillness within yourself. It is not the stillness of one who has surrendered. It is the stillness of one who has become the organizing principle of their own life. Here, the difference between control and alignment becomes as clear as the sky after a storm. Control is trying to force the outer world to match what you want. Alignment is allowing your inner coherence to magnetize an outer harmony. Control is exhausting, for you are fighting the great river of life. Alignment is effortless, for you have become one with its flow. When you breathe with awareness, when you rest in the sacred pause, when you inhabit your inner temple fully, you are not trying to make things happen. You are allowing them to happen through you. You become a clear channel for the intelligence of the universe to express itself. This does not mean you become passive. True stillness is intensely alive, fiercely aware. It is the stillness of a master archer just before releasing the arrow, completely focused, completely present, ready. From this place, your actions become effortless and profoundly effective because they arise from alignment, not from effort. As you prepare to return from this inner space, take this rhythm with you. You return not as the person you were, but as the one you have always been. Beneath the noise, the breath led you here. And now, it reveals the final truth. Stillness is not the absence of power. Stillness is power itself. You have walked the sacred path of the breath, discovering that 23,000 daily breaths are not functions, but 23,000 chances for creation. You have awakened the silent watcher within, that timeless part of you that sees your thoughts as clouds passing across an infinite sky. In the sacred pause between breaths, you have found the doorway where pure intention meets the field of reality. By building your inner temple, you have learned that your body is a living sanctuary, holding your life story and the keys to your own healing. You have felt how your breath creates a field of energy around you, making you a constant source of either peace or chaos for the world. And finally, you have touched the profound wisdom that the most powerful action is often stillness. The dynamic, mountain-like stillness that allows life to align with your presence. There will be times when the world's noise will pull you away, when emotion will cloud your sight, when the river of thought will become a torrent. In those moments, remember this: the shortest path home is a single breath. 3 conscious inhales can return you to the watcher. 1 pause between breaths can reconnect you to the sacred source. A single moment of stillness can restore your inner temple. This path is not about perfection. It is about returning, again and again. Each time you remember to breathe consciously, you are not just improving your moment, you are reshaping your world from its very foundation. You become a living testament that consciousness, not circumstance, is the only true creative power. Now, as you leave this quiet space, take this rhythm with you. Let your breath be your anchor. Let stillness be your strength. Let your own awareness walk beside you in every choice, every word, every sacred pause. So breathe, not to survive, but to remember, not to escape, but to embody, not to control, but to create. The breath is the key. You are the door. I invite you to step through.